Get on in here. Come on. It's that time. Trying to find my music as usual. Here we go.
Working smart and flying. Well, these piles of clutter could be blessing others, so I'm flying. And while I'm flinging, you can hear me singing. I'm flying. I have my friends and family, but with routines in place, I still have time for me. I can get things done while I'm having fun, 'cause I'm flying.
There we go. Yeah, I think I need another cup of coffee this morning. And Robert's going to bring it to me when it's done. But I'm excited. It's Thursday. I feel like we've passed a milestone. I have been in my house for 31 days. Yeah, 31 days. And if we have to go another 2 weeks, I can do that because I've already done 31 days, you know? So you had 31 days and 14 more days. That gives us, here comes coffee. It's a hand warmer. Say hi, sweetie. Hey, people. Thank you. Oh, it's a hot cup of coffee too. Anyway, so I think we're coming down, and it's going to be fun, and we've gotten a lot of things done, and you know, I'm really excited. One thing I wanted to tell you about is we had a flybaby who came up with an idea for a mask without sewing. I mean, and I don't have, I'm sending out the email right now, but she took a purple rag. Now get this, it was one she'd had. She took a purple rag and she took the corners right here and put a little bulldog clip with a hair tie on it and just anchored it to it, kind of like that. And she tucked it in her, she works at a doctor's office, and she's not a nurse, she's a receptionist. So she's saving the, and she's in an open area for the reception area, and she works most of the time from home. But she took it, put it around her face, and then tucked the rest of it in her shirt right here. So she was protected all the way. And I just thought, you know, y'all are so smart. Y'all are just amazing. Just amazing. Now, Leanne and I were brainstorming last night. Well, Leanne came up with it. This is the queen of the kitchen. She came up with it. And I think it is a brilliant idea. We're going to have a cook-off. We're going to set up a section on our Facebook pages, and we're going to pin it to the top of the page, or however we come up with to do it. But we want to see pictures of the food you've made, whether it's bread or casseroles or plates of food. somebody says it takes people 10 minutes to find us. I think we're going to quit pinning yesterday's show to the top of the page. I think we've got to quit doing that. Leanne's calling it the Let's Stay In Cook-Off. Like the Pillsbury Bake-Off, except this is going to be, a Flybaby Cook-Off. And we're gonna have some fun with this. We want to see pictures. We want recipes. Just share your picture and put your recipe in the comment, And this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. I don't know why people don't get notified. But Liz, let's quit pinning the Fly Lady video to the top of the page. Let's just quit that because it makes it hard to find it the next day and we forget to unpin it. So let's just not pin it anymore and we'll see how that works. So I really hadn't started doing the questions yet. I just wanted to give some comments. Now, I heard this morning that Amazon has banned 6,000 people who sell things on Amazon for price gouging, and they're working with the local in each state, the attorney generals, to get these people prosecuted, which I think is brilliant. The fact that they are on top of this, we cut our prices. We gave you a 25% discount, and our microfiber cloths the pink rags are half price for the pink ones. Yeah, they're $10, and then the purple rags are on a BOGO, buy one pack, put it in your cart. We'll send you a second cart. But we're going to set up a section on our page, and you can post, and we'll keep it pinned to the top of both of our pages, and we'll be the judge. And maybe y'all will be the judge. Maybe you put some likes in and some different things, and we'll figure out whose concoction, let's say, because y'all are coming up. You're checking your pantries and your freezers, and you're cooking what you got left. You're cooking what you got, because all of us are protecting ourselves and staying in as much as possible, even though I feel like in 2 weeks we'll be out of this. Now, we might not be out of people getting sick, but we'll be out of the craziness that is, running to the hospital. Yep, Leanne cut pricing too. We've cut pricing. I stopped listening to Scott Adams about 5 minutes till. I had to get some makeup on, but our cook-off is not going to be keto. We're not going to do that because Leanne and I have been cooking what we have pretty much. We've been doing what we could with what we had. So last night I had homemade hamburger buns and hamburgers, and I made baked beans, and I gave you a video of the baked beans. And we're just cooking. See, Monday I was sad. And Leanne had 3 days of no power. And the last day she didn't have water, which is awful. Just awful. And so I realized that when I can't cook, I don't feel whole. Even though I don't cook often, my husband says it's better to have a wife that can cook and doesn't cook often than one that can't cook and cooks all the time. But, the more you cook, the more you learn. So I think getting in the kitchen, and Leanne's been giving you cooking lessons every day until her power went out. So you can't eat my beans if you're keto because they got sugar in them. But it doesn't hurt to eat them every once in a while. And I cook them a couple of times a year. That's about it. Robert is hilarious. He's my sweet darling. He spoils me rotten. So I got questions. We got sales going on. Leanne's got sales going on. In fact, probably the only place you can find supplements right now is on her website. So let's get some questions answered. What is the average time it takes someone to fly instead of just fluttering? I don't need to be perfect. I am years in with baby steps. Okay. First off, she says the word fluttering as if it were a bad word, y'all. Fluttering is just exercising your wings. That's what crawling is. You can't take a step when you're a baby until you've exercised those muscles and you got those muscles strong. So fluttering is not a bad word. And she is a perfectionist because she doesn't think she's flying. Leanne's website is savingdinner.com. Savingdinner.com. Yeah, he made Leanne the prettiest plant stand you have ever seen. It's a pedestal for her beautiful orchid. Caroline's going to do her cooking lesson today. That's fun. That is a lot of fun. So some people jump in and in the first month they got it. But when perfectionism creeps into your life, you don't think it's good enough. So establishing just 4 simple habits is going to change your life. Here they are. Shine your sink and keep your sink clean and shining. That's number 1. Go to bed with a shining sink. Even if somebody puts dirty dishes in your sink after you go to bed, don't fuss about it. Don't fuss. No need to fuss. Number 2, when you wake up in the morning, get dressed to lace up shoes. Don't question it, just do it. Don't drag around all morning waiting for the perfect time to get dressed. Do it the minute your feet hit the floor. Go through the process and get it done. Number 3, do a load of laundry every day if you can do it. Leanne hadn't been able to do it. She has had power outage. And you can do this. Do a load of laundry every day and keep your dishes done. And I'm talking to Leanne right now. Well, she didn't have water, so she couldn't do dishes. And she didn't have electricity, so she couldn't run the dishwasher. But she had a gas stove, and she could heat up water for 2 of those 3 days she was out. And we can wash dishes with our own 2 hands if we need to. And you know what happens when you wash dishes with your own 2 hands? Your fingernails get pretty and clean and beautiful. And it's like having a manicure. It is. So those 4 things: keep your sink clean and shiny, get dressed to lace up shoes, do a load of laundry every day, and do your dishes. You got it. That's half of flying. The rest is establishing a morning routine, an afternoon routine, a before bed routine. And it's amazing what you can get done. Now, somebody's complaining about dishpan hands. You put a little lotion on afterwards or a little coconut oil and you're good to go. You are good to go. I remember a long time ago, there was the Palmolive lady. She would have people soak their nails in little dishes of Palmolive dishwashing liquid. Who'd have thunk it? When I put my chapstick on before I go to bed, I put chapstick on my fingernails. I got it in my hand. It softens up cuticles. It does a great job, and I'm happy. So I wash my hands really well because I don't want to do it after I've, washed my hands. Put the chapstick on, and then I do my nails. And I rub them in, and it's just part of my before bed routine. So it works. It really does work. And I don't have, yes, somebody remembers Madge. I couldn't think of her name, but she had little dishes of Palmolive liquid to soak your fingers in. So don't beat yourself up because you think you're fluttering. That is perfectionism. Yeah, that's perfectionism. Do you have homeschooling tips, and how can I keep the kids interested? Well, the main thing is you can't have school all day. No. If you have a start time and a stop time for school. So go from 9 o'clock in the morning till lunchtime and get their math in and their other homework stuff that their teachers are giving them online. And everybody's homeschooling right now. There's not many schools in session. So do what you can, but 15 minutes at a time. And then you do other things after you get the kids going with their lessons. You stay close to them so you can help. But the main thing is get a start time and a stop time. Now, there are some people who are doing, they have a flag flying outside, and they go outside and they start their morning with the Pledge of Allegiance, and they come in and they start their class. You need a little routine for starting your class. And then have the stop time, and don't drag it over. Stick to it. Stick to the stop sign. The stop time, because that's going to keep the kids interested because they can see the end. They really can see the end. And you need a clock where they can see, and they need a calendar. If you're not counting off these days that they've been stuck in the house, and they do need to get outside, even though some people are saying no, but outside is good air. It is good air. And kids need sunbeams just like you need sunbeams. So you can, if it's warm in your area, you can get outside. You can get outside and do lessons. Do a little science project outside. Go plant some seeds. That's what I've been doing. Now wait till you see my seeds I got going from vegetables that I've cleaned. I've got some red pepper seeds, not hot pepper, just red bell pepper seeds going, and I'm so excited. It's like my little babies. We do the same thing with sprouts when we're growing sprouts. So how can I keep my kids interested? Don't drag it out. Get it done as fast as you can, and then go on to the next fun thing to do. And maybe schedule some fun activities for the afternoon, like your not field trips, but things outside. I saw something on TV yesterday where they went out on a nature hike around the yard and gathered up little pieces of sticks and stuff. Then they came inside and they made self-portraits with these things with glue. Who'd thunk it? So there's a lot of homeschooling projects that you can utilize, but that's part of your planning for the next day, what you're going to do. Just don't go at it. Willy-nilly. Have a plan and stick to the plan. Have a start time, have a stop time. Now Tammy, she would go from 9 in the morning school would start at 9 in the morning. Everybody had to be dressed to lace up shoes, ready to go, and then she would go until lunchtime. And then they would get their math and their reading, and in the afternoon you can do reading too, but the main thing is you can do reading at quiet time. So there you have it. How do I get the spark to actually do what needs to be done? My motivation is lacking. Well, we all have that issue, That's what a timer's for. A timer will get your butt off of the chair. Just like Mel Robbins? Mel something. Somebody tell me who she is. I never can think of her last name. But she goes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Get your butt up and do something. Because I can't motivate you to get out of that chair. I can't do it. I can play games with you, but if you're just going to sit there and listen to me and listen to the music, you're never going to get anything. Commit, Mel Robbins. Commit to doing it. Commit to doing it and not just passively sitting there. Get up. And the reason you're passively sitting there is probably because you don't have your shoes on and you don't have your clothes on. You're sitting there in your pajamas and you got your house slippers on, and that's telling you it's time to lounge around. Well, stop it. Stop it now and get up. Let's see, what's Leanne saying? That's how we did it too. We had a big subjects done by lunch. Yep, Leanne was a homeschooler. That's how we found each other. Her house was a mess and she found Fly Lady, and then she wanted to come and give me a big hug. And I can't wait to get a big hug. Can't wait to get a big hug from Leanne. Okay, so we all need motivation, but we got to play a game to get it done. When everything is out of control and there is clutter everywhere, physical, mental, and emotional, credit card debt, routines are a mess, not exercising, not eating right, and you feel completely overwhelmed, how do you untangle that major mess to start on first? Go shine your sink. That's it. Go shine your sink. That's going to give you incentive to keep your kitchen clean. Starting out with a shiny sink. Last night, here's what I did. I accidentally left water in the sink last night. It wasn't much water. I'd washed a skillet, and I just didn't empty the water out. I got to doing something else and walked away and forgot it. I didn't shine my sink last night. One side was shiny, but the other side had nasty water in it this morning. I'm telling you, it was awful, but I got it done. First thing this morning, I walk into the kitchen and I'm greeted with this nasty water. I shined my sink right then. And now it's pretty and clean. But when you're looking at the big picture, I have a picture on the wall over there, and it's a quote from Martin Luther King Jr., and it says, you don't have to see the top of the staircase to take the first step. Just jump in. That's not part of the quote, but you can do this. Get one thing done. Yes, I had mystery water this morning. Imagine that. But I've been doing some cooking too. But I admit to my mystery water. Leanne admits to her sink full of dirty dishes because she didn't have water. Stuff happens and you get by. You get by. When you don't have water, you don't have water. You can't even flush toilets. And here we would have to go out in the woods. So you got to start with one thing, and that's shining your sink. Then go get dressed to lace up shoes. And if you have electricity, put a load of laundry in. Get your indentured servants going. Get your crock pot going. That's going to help you eat right and plan your meals. Meatloaf is wonderful. Mystery water. That's where you've left water in the sink and it's got cold, congealed grease on top of it. Yeah, that's rough. When you have country water and you don't have water because the electricity, the generator that runs your water pump isn't working, that's bad. My nose is itching. What is going on? Okay. How do you untangle the mess? Well, I have a picture right behind me here. And it's our mother, the untier of knots right there. And I love this picture because I love to untie knots. I help you untie knots every single day. And that's what we're doing. It's how do you untangle with such major mess? Yeah, we just start doing. You get up, you set your timer for 15 minutes, you work for 15 minutes, and then you can sit down for 15 minutes. And then you set it again, and when the 15 minutes is up, you get up and do something else. Sometimes, every 15 minutes, I get up and do 2 minutes worth. 2 minutes worth. And if you do 2 minutes all day long, your house is going to be beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Any tips on adjusting after having a baby? Sweet thing, you got to keep your schedule on the baby schedule. You need to sleep when the baby sleeps, and you need to, when the baby's awake, and newborns aren't awake very much. They're only awake about 4 hours a day, and then it gets to be 6. And take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself, but you need to be, let's see, I'm looking at, there really is an Untie of Knots lady. It's called the Holy Mother, and it's a picture that I absolutely love. She's sitting there, and the angels are handing her little knots, and she's untangling them. And I love that. The Pope Francis loves this painting. It's one day I'll get to see that painting. I want to go see that painting where it's hanging someplace. I don't know where it is, but I'll find it. But I have a print of it. 2 minutes really do add up. 2 minutes to go up and down your steps to get some exercise. But when you have a baby, your body has to heal. So you've got to drink your water, especially if you're nursing. You got to drink your water. You got to pace yourself. And while the baby's sleeping, you don't need to be sitting holding the baby all day long. That's not good. But holding the baby while you nurse and take, there's, you know what you got to do. But you've also got to keep the house in order. And if you're using real diapers, which a lot of people are these days, using real diapers, because diapers are expensive. Diapers are expensive. Somebody post a link to the picture of Mary Untie of Knots. Yeah, I've searched it, but I've slept since then. I don't remember where it is, where the location of the painting is. But the painting was commissioned by a man for his wife, in honor of his wife. So sleep when you can and get things done in little pieces, 2 minutes at a time. Every 15 minutes, get up and do 2 minutes. And don't worry about keeping the noise down so the baby can sleep. If you have a noise going all the time, the babies will sleep. They'll sleep regardless of the noise. So don't try to keep the house quiet. Don't do that. When I fall off the routines/zones because of illness, do I jump back in on the schedule or the spot I left off? You jump right back in where we are right now. Don't try to catch up, because you can never catch up. You'll always be behind if you do that. If you jump back in, every week we're in a different zone. This week we're in our main bathrooms. So let's get our main bathrooms done up. You get a mission every day. And we have one more day in the bathroom. I use cloth diapers too because Justin was allergic to disposable ones. We have sensitive skin, y'all. So just jump back in. And maybe you can't do a full-blown routine, but if you'll do those 4 things, get up and get dressed to lace up shoes, keep your sink clean and shiny, keep the dishes done, and put in a load of laundry, your house is going to keep moving. Those 4 things are amazing. We have 4 bathrooms. Should I be swishing and swiping each one every day? Yes. Here's why. If you're drinking your water and plenty of liquids, go to a different bathroom. Make sure you have a swish and swipe set in each bathroom. I've filled my little Goodness gracious, I put too much stuff in here. A purple rag, a rubber swisher, and a vase to put it in. I'll put an ink pen down in there too. Swish and swipe in every bathroom. And just go pee in a different bathroom every time. But plan on, have a little checklist that you've got the downstairs bathroom, the upstairs bathroom. Now, let me tell you why if it's a bathroom that doesn't get used often, you need to flush that toilet every single day. Yes, you do. Because the water will evaporate from there. And you will get sewer smells in that room and you won't know where they're coming from. So you need to flush that toilet and wash your hands in that sink every single day so that you don't get sewer gases coming up. Yep. Well, there was a pen. Oop. I think Robert's out with the chainsaw. What is that string on the table behind you? This is the little loops. We used to sell a water bottle like this, and we had a little lanyard on it, little tiny lanyard. And I had thought I could use these little tiny lanyards to do the ear thing, but they weren't big enough. They just weren't big enough. I guess I could have played with them and done something, but I didn't. But I had a bunch of them in a drawer. Okay, let's see. So jump in where we are. Don't look back. I mean, we can't look back. Do y'all still have water bottles? Yes, we do. We have this one, and we have a seafoam green one. So we have a navy blue one and a seafoam green one. I put my hot water and make tea in mine every day because it keeps it hot until bedtime. So I drink my tea all during the afternoon after we have tea time at 3 o'clock. So go each bathroom in your house. If you're drinking your water, you got to pee a lot. So utilize that to go swish and swipe each bathroom. Which book of yours do you recommend for a newbie? Well, I love all my books. They're like my babies, It is what it is. But the 31 Baby Step book, and I can't find it. Where is my 31 Baby Step book? It's on the bottom down there. I can't even reach it without getting out of my chair. And I don't want to get out of my chair but the 31 Baby Step book. Somebody put a link into the 31 Baby Step book. So that is a great book. The original book, Sync Reflections, is great too. If you're in your 30s, if you're a millennial, the new book, The Chaos Cure, is good. And if you're wanting to address body clutter, mine and Leanne's New York Times bestselling book, Body Clutter, is a great book to have. So just pick up one of them. Don't wait. Don't try to find out which one's perfect. Just pick up one and read it. And they're on Kindle. And you don't even have to go to the store. The Chaos Cure is the key one to start. It's fun. The Chaos Cure is a fun book. I had fun writing that book. It was amazing. Okay. Do you feel it's safe to still do takeout orders with this virus? Yes. Because I love my local restaurants and they're suffering. Our Mexican restaurants that we love, we've known them for years. I mean, one downtown at Maya's Grill, he moved here the same year I did, in 1994. And he's a good friend. And they are suffering. So they have set up pickup outside of their restaurants. They have cones out where nobody can park in those places. And there you have it. Pickup is right there. And you call it in. And now what Robert does is he usually gives them cash. And he tips them really well so they don't have to give him change. That's what we do. And supporting your local restaurants, because this isn't their fault. It's not their fault. It's China's fault, and I'm going to say that till the day I die. China knew about this virus, yet they did not tell the world about it. They stopped internal travel in China from the city of Wuhan, but they didn't stop travel to other countries. Now that is awful. That is terrible. And it makes me angry. So, even if it puts me out of business, I am ready to decouple from China. I am ready to decouple from China. And we need some factories in this country. We need people to sew things. We need people to make things. We need people to make rubber products like these. These are silicone injection molds. Can you find somebody to make these in this country? I haven't yet. We need a clearinghouse. Any of you who have husbands or sisters or you yourself who know how to program, build a clearinghouse for people to post that they can make these products. And I'll buy from them. I'll buy from them. I will. We need more factories. We need people willing to build. I mean, we've got empty buildings. The factories are there. We just need to retool them. Yeah, I'm passionate about it, all right. I am passionate. We're going to come up with a way to do this. We're going to bring our antibiotics. I told my nephew, not Ben, my nephew Brandon, he is in the pharmaceutical business. He has his own business, and he helps pharmaceutical companies build factories. And I said, Brandon, we need to bring our medications home, because I noticed 3 months ago we were getting short. We were getting short on blood pressure medicine. My doctor couldn't get it. My doctor could not get blood pressure medicine. And she always fills my prescription. She had to call it in to CVS, which alarmed me. And I warned y'all about it back in January when that happened. And so, blood pressure medications, a lot of medications are made in China. So we need to bring that back home. We really do. So, takeout orders. Here's what I do when I get a takeout order. I take it out of the package that it comes in. I put it on a plate. And then I wash my hands before I eat. Then I wash my hands before I eat. Yep. Now, people are talking about having trouble getting EpiPens. I think you can get the Epi medicine, but you may have to learn how to do an injection. Yeah. So, let's take care of our own. Wherever you are in the world, if you're in Italy, you need to take care. Italy needs to take care of Italy. They need their own factories unless they can trust us. I think if we build factories here, you can trust us to give you what you need. But we can't trust China anymore. We can't do it. We can't do it. And the reason I know this is because, and I don't blame them for this, when they were having the epidemic, they turned 2 ships around that were filled with personal protection equipment, masks and gowns and gloves. They turned 2 ships around. 2 ships around to bring the stuff back. Now, did they do that to keep us from having? I don't think so. But that's why we've had a shortage, because we've all had this just-in-time inventory. We have it in our homes. That's why we go grocery shopping once a week. We have, we don't have a stock. We haven't had a stockpile, even though I started telling you in January to start building your own supply, your own little stockpile. We started talking about it then, building up the stuff you needed to be able to feed your family. Because when you have this supply, and this is one thing I will say how important this is. The Mormons, they believe in having a 2-year stockpile of food. Now, it might be canned goods and you may not like to eat it, but guess what? Having a 2-year supply of food keeps you safe. Keeps you safe, keeps you calm. So, I always decant everything that comes in. I wipe everything that I even let my packages from Amazon sit in the sun for several hours before I bring them in the house, unless it's raining, and then I let them sit for a day. So, I decant everything, and then I wash my hands. Washing your hands is more important than anything. Do you have any tips on getting your husband on board to help? After he gets home from work, he doesn't want to do anything but watch TV. Quit nagging him. Quit nagging him. Single women, single fathers have to do it all by themselves. So he's going to work. He's an essential employee. Let him rest. Just quit nagging. And if he sees that you need help, eventually he's going to get up and help you. But guess what? Your nagging is making him rebel, so stop it. I work the graveyard shift. When would it be best to complete a morning routine? Now, you have to rename your routines. If you're working graveyard shift, then you have to rename your routine to a go to work routine and a get home from work routine. Go to work routine. So you're going to work at night. You got to get up. You got to get dressed to lace up shoes. You got to go to work. And then when you get home, you got to go to bed. So that's a before bed routine. So it's not really morning and evening anymore. It's go to work and get home from work. A trucker's wife with 5 kids, she manages just fine. Yeah, I forgot about. And military spouses and people who work graveyard. Yeah, we can do this. We don't need to nag. We don't need to do it. During this pandemic, our go-to foods have been boxed food options and everything processed. Do you have healthy meal ideas that are cheap? Yeah. Leanne's been cooking almost every day for you during this pandemic. She's been showing you real ways to make your own boxed food. She did stroganoff one night. She's done casseroles. She's done some amazing food, and we're going to be posting some of your food that you've made with your recipes. So take the pictures, put them in. We're going to set up a place on our Facebook pages so you can see this. And you can get ideas to plan your menus. So we don't have to eat box foods are expensive. They really are. Ben went to the grocery store yesterday. He bundled up. He called them. They had a special hour for people with immune and elderly people to come in. And Chuck was with him, and they went in together. And Ben was covered up well, and they spent some money on groceries. I was so proud of him for getting what they needed. And Chuck is probably a pretty good cook, so I think they're going to eat well. Do you have any healthy meal? Cornbread and pinto beans is a healthy meal. It's amazing. Leanne has some great ideas. My daughter-in-law has been baking like a crazy person. And she sends me a text last night at 11 o'clock. She says, I've got some extra sourdough starter. Do you want it? And I said, yes. Don't throw it out. Send it to me. And so they're feeding this sourdough starter, and it was just nothing to start. I mean, she got some from her friend, but she's going to send me some. She's made sourdough pancakes. She was making sourdough cinnamon rolls today. So she's baked bread. They have baked, when they didn't have electricity, they baked bread on their pizza stone in the grill. Yeah, Justin kept it all at a certain temperature, and it was wonderful. So Leanne, go to savingdinner.com. Look at Leanne's Saving Dinner page on Facebook. She has lots of videos and recipes on how to cook during this pandemic and still feed your family. And that's what we want to hear from you with our Stay In Cook-Off. Yeah, Stay In Cook-Off. And we'll be starting it today. And just post things in there like crazy, and we will get some great ideas. And then on Monday, we'll look at all of them, and we'll figure out who gets to wear the chef's hat for the day. We have virtual chef's hat. I don't have a chef's hat, so we'll see. Leanne wants some of the sourdough starter. Well, I'll split it with you, and we'll feed it and split it. And Emily says, my daughter-in-law says, it's like feeding a baby. You got to feed it every few hours. And I think this sourdough starter is 7 years old. So it has a life of its own. Justin said when you leave it out, you can see it start to work. I'll try to get a recipe from her. Okay, and let's see. How often do you suggest cleaning door handles and light switches? You know, I think right now, once a day is good. Or if somebody comes in from outside and they touch things and they've been, working, tell them to go wash their hands, and you go right after them and wipe down everything. I told Robert this morning, I said, how long before we get a superbug? People complaining about a superbug happening because we've been keeping everything sanitized. And he said, only you would think of that. But that's what happens in hospitals. They get a superbug. That's why being out of hospitals is, not being in hospitals is a good thing. That's the last place I want to be. And I've had to spend a lot of time with Ben in a hospital. And it's a scary place. I got 2 pounds of yeast in yesterday. 2 pounds yesterday. And my seeds have started coming in. And I got this cute little bench. A kneeling bench. I may put it in my bathroom to do prayers. But I got this kneeling bench. And it's just adorable. I'm going to see if Justin and Jack can find some so we can sell them. Because that's one thing about getting out and planting a garden. It's hard. It's really hard if you can't get up off the ground, if you need to get down on your hands and knees. It's got little handles on it. So I'm excited about having a kneeling bench. It'll be fun. But right now, the only place we can get them is China. It is the book on Audible. The Chaos Cure book is on Audible. I think the other books might be too, but I'm not for certain. We sold the rights to Sync Reflections, which we couldn't do the audio of it. But anyway, we shall see. Well, that's all our questions, y'all. And I've been going almost an hour. Wow. So, folks, what's for dinner? Figure it out. Get it going. You'll feel better if you know what's for dinner. Well, see, my bathroom is kind of my meditation spot. I like to get in the bathtub full of hot, bubble bath, and I do a lot of praying in the bathtub. Where did you order? I ordered the yeast off of Amazon. Yeah, I did. It's like a little 2-pound bag of coffee, and it's vacuum sealed. I hadn't opened it yet, but I'm gonna open it up and try it today. I don't know what I'm gonna make, but I'm gonna make something. I think Robert wants some cinnamon raisin bread with some dates in it, so we'll see. Where can I find a starter recipe? You can look it up on Google. There's some, you can find a sourdough starter recipe, and there's some Amish starter friendship bread recipes too. I have some candles in there. Yeah, I do have a candle. They're holy candles, and I took them to a priest in Hendersonville a couple years ago and got them all blessed. And I'm not Catholic, so anyway, it's all good, y'all. We got things accomplished today. Let's play the 2-minute game today. Set your timer for every 15 minutes and get up in 2 minutes. And then I want you to tell me how much stuff you got done. You got it? Let's do it that way today. Let's play. Let's get it done. I'll see you at 3 o'clock. Caroline is cooking pasta with vodka sauce. Oh, I'm going to watch that for certain because I love a vodka sauce. Oh my goodness. I had leftover chicken for breakfast. That's what I had for breakfast. So everybody, sourdough is equal parts of flour and water, cover with a dish towel, and that's it. Really? Melissa, that's it? No sugar, no nothing? Wow. That's amazing. Anyway, let's have some fun today by playing the 2-minute game all day long. Every 15 minutes, go for 2 minutes. And then sit down and do something else. I love you all. I will see you at 3 o'clock. And we're coming out of this stuff, unless you're in New York City. But here in Brevard, North Carolina, in Transylvania County, North Carolina, we have only had 6 cases, and I think they're all well now, and we're good. We're ready to go back to work, all of us. And we never stopped at the office. We have a distancing in place, and they're taking temperatures in the morning, so we're all good at the office. We never stopped shipping things, and you never stopped buying things. So thank you very much. Y'all are wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I love you all. I will see you later. And I'm not depressed. Those are tears of joy, y'all. Those are tears of joy. Bye.